Hello, good morning, welcome. This is Dee Tellickson. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator outside of Chicago in the United States. And I have a stamp club once a month that we meet here at my house mostly, but because of COVID, there are quite a few people who prefer to pick up their packets and make the cards at home. So I am going to demonstrate how to assemble the cards that we made at my local stamp club, and we will hopefully answer any questions that you can post, and I will be watching along on my iPad, which is what I'm trying to do right now, is get into the video live also so that I can see your questions. Let's see, got to get my volume off so that you don't hear an echo, and get the messages posting. So I see Denise and Jan are here, and that's awesome. Somebody else. So I'm glad to see you all, and I'm happy to be bringing you the cards for April 2021. I think the last time that I did this, I put the note at the top. It says that it's March 3021, which is, heaven forbid, I'm still here and stamping in 1,000 years. That would be terrible. Really, it would be terrible. But I'm going to turn the camera now so that you can see my workspace and see the cards, and we'll get on it. Here we go. So it's a really lovely spring day with a lot of rain going on outside. So we're happy to be inside and going to make some cards. So I'm trying to get you the full desktop. My camera is plugged into the charger and it's making it a little short. So I'll try to keep you in the square. So these are the 3 cards we made, and there's quite a few different techniques and fun things happening here. And the first one I'm going to start with is the Butterfly Brilliance Bundle. And we, let's see, we did some coloring using the new brushes, and we used the Stamparatus to stamp the butterflies, which means that you got all of the butterflies. So it's one giant stamp that makes 2, 4, 6 butterflies all in one time, and then there's one giant die that cuts the whole thing out at once, and then there's a whole bunch of other dies that cut detailed butterflies, and they cut some texture stuff. It's a really wonderful set. It's a sneak preview that we're able to order in April, but it will be in the May to April catalog that's coming out. If you are not in my stamp club, but you want a catalog, this is the time and place that you can leave a comment, and I will be sure that you get a catalog, because they'll be active May like 4th or 6th, I don't remember, but soon. So if you are wanting a catalog and you're not in Stamp Club, I'm happy to provide you with one. You just need to let me know. Everyone in Stamp Club gets a catalog, which is fun, and a little extra perk. So if we're going to copy my card exactly, we would use this butterfly, but I'm going to use a different one. Not that it makes any difference at all. We're just going to do 2 butterflies. And I'm using Coastal Cabana first. And let's see, I think you see all this. So these are the blending brushes that Stampin' Up! Is offering. The tricky part is that we haven't had them. They have been very, very popular and have been unavailable. There's also the whole COVID situation that's making deliveries very hard. We're not getting things that are made in factories overseas. So it's tricky, but they are back in the warehouse because they're letting us order them. Even though they're coming up as back ordered, I think that they're going to be coming through really soon. So you may be able to see I'm just doing the edges, the tips of the wings. And then I'm going to switch over to Seaside Spray and add some blue down the center of these wings and blend the two colors together. It's not super obvious, and that is what we're going for. We want it to be a little pretty combination of colors on our butterfly. It's hard to tell on screen, but I am rubbing that on my ink pad, and then I'm starting off of the butterfly because I don't want like a big blob of ink on there. So we start off the butterfly a little bit, and then I'm not sure I want ink all over my fingers for the whole demonstration, but gotta hold it. All right, so just for your information, what I do, I have this microfiber cloth. I don't know, I don't know where I got it, maybe just the hardware store. And it takes the color off of these brushes very nicely. And if you feel like that's not working, you're not getting, like you have residual color, you can use a tiny bit of shampoo, like it's hair, so you could use shampoo. You can use just like a tiny bit of shampoo to run them under cold water. You could just run them under cold water, see if that does it for you, and then you have to let them dry before you can use them again. This way I can get right in there and use it again. You can see there's no color remaining on those brushes after I wipe it on the microfiber cloth. So there we go. I'm gonna put those away because they're kind of a little bit space hogs. All right, the next thing is a little bit of assembly. So we have a 4 by 5¼ piece of white paper, and I'm going to start with a blue panel. I think I switched that it's not Seaside Spray, but it's light blue. Whatever color you have will work fine. And we're going to put that on the card, kind of near the top left. And then we have this skinny little framey piece that I cut out with the stitched shapes framelets. And for me, I know that it's so many different adhesives, but I'm going to use a little bit of white glue on here because it's so narrow. But you can certainly use your whatever adhesive you've got handy, whatever you're comfortable with. A lot of people don't like using the white glue, but I am just fine with it. As you can see, I keep it in a shot glass on my table. My table has got lots of funny storage devices that work perfectly, so I am okay with using a shot glass for my glue. And then this isn't really critical where you put it, but I have it straight and I have it covering the edge over here, and then some white is showing. And let's see, here's my sentiment. I'm switching it up. I only need one Mother's Day card. I think I have multiple Mother's Day cards anyway, but here's one. And all of my white dimensionals are downstairs where we hold the class, so I'm going to use black dimensionals, but nobody will know. I do like the little ones, the tiny little dimensionals for this kind of a tiny little sentiment, but you can certainly cut your dimensionals to work for you, make them small. And then the butterflies go on here. And on my card, they are flat. But isn't that sad? Don't we want them? I mean, just the sentiment bumped up? No, we need the butterflies bumped up. Let's go. Couple dimensionals for you. Maybe just one for you. Okay. All right. Did everybody have a good Easter or Passover? I hope that you were able to see some family. I hope that you're able to get your COVID shot. I know that it's opening up for everyone to be able to get it, and that is the most exciting. That even young people that work, I'm thinking of my daughter here, they'll be able to and she said to me last night she's hoping to get the Johnson & Johnson because it's one shot and she's done. She doesn't have to take off work 2 times to go get the shot. And any side effects will be just the 1 time, not 2 times. So good luck to her finding what she wants. Ugh, okay, try that again. I know almost everybody hates tying little bows, but they really make a difference on your card. They can brighten it up, give you a little texture. Doesn't cost much. Just takes a little minute of fiddling around. Here are my glue dots. Now I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know if those of you watching know this, but I do watch my customers when they're here stamping, and so many people have a hard time with these. So the glue dots are on the roll. They're not on the tail. They're on the roll. When I use my glue dot, I fold back the wax paper so that I know there's one showing. I usually stick my piece of ribbon onto the glue dot, get it really stuck to it, and then I lift it all up, and then I can put that onto my card. And then when I'm ready for another one, I know that this one's been used. So I can pull this back, and there it is, the next one. So that's how to use a glue dot. A Stampin' Up! Glue dot. Other companies have them on the tail of the wax paper. And I think that's what throws people off, is that they think it's going to be on that tail, and they're looking and looking. All right, these are some in color enamel dots, and I think we used these Noble Peacock rhinestones that were on clearance a while ago, and I have a ton of them. But you could use your regular rhinestones, or you can use, you know, whatever you got handy. I happen to have these. What did I tell you? They're in color enamel dots, and they're kind of they add dimension, but not so much sparkle, but I like them. So here we go. You know, the funny thing is I put that label on the back, and that's caused the problem. You can't move the plastic sheet, so it makes it a little bit harder to use the enamel dots, but that's okay. All right, then we need our card base and my bone folder. It's a Teflon bone folder. I really like it. I wish Stampin' Up! Carried that particular product, but you've probably got a bone folder already, and that is all good. So we're going to just fold the card and then put this panel on the front of it, and we're all set. Card number 1, all done. Set that aside and bring in card number 2. And I have done a lot of the work on this one already. So things that you won't have to watch me do include stamping and punching. So I have stamped and punched all of these panels, and then I used my, let's see, this is the Balmy Blue Stampin' Blend marker, and that's what I used on my flowers. So it is, I'm gonna back up one step. I also did a little pineapple punch in the centers of the flowers, just to give them like a little, just a little yellow in the center. I don't know, does that make them look more authentic? Probably not. All right, then they are blue, Balmy Blue. And you know, if you've watched me color or studied my cards, this is not like brain surgery. I'm not worried about it being perfect or hitting all of the panels exactly right. Now, if you really are a colorer and you like this, you'll get out your coordinating color, like this one is the dark Balmy Blue. You would get out your light and you would do the light blue first, and then you'd add a little bit of dark color with this marker. But I am more of a just hit and run coloring person. I want it colored, but I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time doing it. And I kind of have to do this before I assemble the card because I'm going to put dimensionals behind it. So this color is dark Bermuda Bay. So it's green. Find a green marker. Find your colored pencils or some watercoloring. Paint. Add some color to your card. Then, so I did it 3 times. Oh, what stamp set? This is from... Well, that's a good question. I've put the stamp set away because let's see, something with post in it. Because we're using the postage stamp Punch. I can't remember what it's called. It's one of my favorites. I've actually used it a lot of times. It has a Christmas stamp in it, a couple. It has a Valentine's. It has the word love. So I have really used it quite a few times. Nobody else knows the name of it either. Okay, that's good. All right, so they're all colored. We're going to add some dimensionals. And then the DSP that I'm using, this black and white DSP, I wanted black and white, and I knew that the Playful Pets DSP had black and white in it. And so I pull it out. I'm all set. I got the whole card figured out in my head. And this is the only one that's kind of neutral. The rest of them all had cat meow and dog barking and had words on them that were all very specific to the Playful Pets. So I had to, I was in a panic. Was I going to have enough? Was it going to work with my design? And I think it did. I think it's fine. So here is the trick to this card. Now, when you buy this roll of ribbon, and it's got 10 yards of beautiful in color. This is the green from the In Colors. Just Jade. You can wrap it around your card, tie it in a big bow, do whatever you like. For a demonstrator, this becomes like a study in how far will the green ribbon go? Will I get 20 cards out of it? Will I get 40 cards out of it? Because that's how many people, you know, you have a class with quite a few people, and then you have to do this, have to have sample cards, you have to do the video, so I have to have enough ribbon for everyone. So what I do is I don't wrap it around the back where no one's going to see it. So I put a little tape on the back of that DSP with the Playful Pets, and then I line it up with the top of the card here and wrap it around and stick it right into that tape so it's stuck in the tape. And then I might lay it on the table just to make it a little easier to manage it. And then bring that piece of ribbon up and wrap it into the tape so that it's perfectly aligned. Uh-oh. Just saw a message. I don't know. Is somebody trying to communicate with me? And then we can stick it on our card. There you go. So I did have enough, in case you're, did I leave you on the edge of your seat? I did have enough designer series paper for the 2 sheets like this to make all of the cards for Stamp Club. And there might be enough to do my Crestwood Stamp Club for next month. We'll see. All right, so I'm putting Happy Mother's Day on here. I'll probably rip it off and make it a Get Well card or it could even be a sympathy card, right? So we're going to put this right in the center. You can move it up, you can move it down. This is kind of up to you how you manage, how you design your card. It's always up to you, but this is what I'm doing. Okay, we're moving along here. And the final, just a tiny little bit of ribbon here that I'm going to feed under the ribbon that I've already adhered to the card. I'm going to tie just a little knot. Snip it off. I'm going to make that ragged edge nice. There we go. So 2 cards done. All right, and then the final card, and this one is kind of interesting. It's a little bit different than a typical card. It doesn't have a full card base. It has just a panel. But the card opens up this way so you can write a little note. You can write a big note, but it isn't it's a fun fold card, you call these, when they do something different. So this designer paper is so beautiful. And you guys, you know that we're in our last 2 weeks of the catalog. So if there's designer paper that you adore, you need to get ordering, because designer series paper, for sure, when it's gone, it's gone. There won't, if they run out, it's just gone, and it won't carry over. It's definitely not carrying over, and it's gorgeous. All right, so then I have this piece of Whisper White that I've scored down the middle, and it is 2 3/4 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So if you are making a whole bunch of cards for some reason, this is like a really good style card to make, because you get 4 of these out of 1 sheet of Whisper White paper. And you can use the regular Whisper White or the thick Whisper White. Either one's going to work perfectly, because I'm not stamping on it. You certainly can stamp on it. On the inside, you could put a sentiment. Now, this is beautiful. I know this is beautiful, but this is too much happening. So I am going to flip it, and we're going to go with the colors that coordinate and hide those beautiful flowers, never to be seen again. And then flip it over, load it up with adhesive, and then it goes right on the front of your card. And you can put it to the left, to the right, wherever it works for you. And again, I have pre-stamped. This is Mary Merlot, if you're wondering what color I'm using. This is Old Olive, and they coordinate with the designer paper, so that makes it easy to match things up. And I'll be honest, all of these label dies, they're from a mishmash of different sets of dies, so use what you've got, use the punches you have, use whatever you need to duplicate this, or get out your catalog. I'd be happy to help you order up these labels, you know, with the stamps and dies. Many of them retire at the end of this month. So if there's something that you're wanting, don't let it pass you by. And I made a little bitty bit of a ribbon here just to jazz it up. And again, I'm back to my glue dot technique, where I fold back the wax paper so that I know where the next glue dot is. Putting that right there on that bright orange. And now the card opens up for you to put your sentiment in, or your message. So I don't think anyone else got this bright orange paper, maybe a couple, but mostly you got either a yellow that goes with the yellow that's in the DSP, or you got this pinky brown that goes with the DSP. It's all from the same pack of paper. So those are the 3 cards for April 2021 Stamp Club. Any questions? Leave them under the, post your question under the video or in the video right now, and I will be happy to get back to you. And if you need a catalog, just leave a comment that you'd love a catalog, and I will get one in your hands ASAP. Thanks for tuning in today, and enjoy your rainy day, get in your craft room, and make some cards. Bye-bye.